Good day, guys. So for today, we'll be having a short discussion about the effective communication. The rest topic will be discussed by my co-members. When we say effective communication, by the word communication, it refers to the process by which information exchange between two or more people. So, include na diri is katong mga machines, anything nga makagain ka og informations. So, each of the management roles is to planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. It depends on effective communication. So, as for the managers, it must be able to receive accurate information to determine plans, and they must be able to send accurate information for the plans to be implemented. So, when information is accurately sent and received, tanang naga-involve sa inyong organisasyon can be informed. In effective communication, naani siya mga benepisyo nga makuha. Ang una ani is provide clarity. So, effective communication reduce the cost of kanang mga conflicts, mga di pagkasinabot o ang mga certain mistakes. So, second we have is it builds relationships. Effective communication creates a collegial culture that fosters teamwork and encourages cooperation. Third one is to create commitment. Effective communication creates support and commitment. So last but not the least we have is it defines expectations. So when expectations and standards are clear, employees knew what they need to do to get a positive review and the benefits that come with it. Let us proceed to the organizational communication, wherein we will be going to contrast the formal and informal communication. So, when we say formal communication, are those that are official, that are part of the recognized communication systems, which is involved in operation of the organization. So, formal communication may be mandatory, indicative, or explanatory. So, when we say mandatory, mo ni mo take og order sa mga tag-as na nga posisyon dito sa organisasyon. So, gina-follow ni siya sa mga various euphemistic names such as katong mga instructions, briefing, and etc. So, ang indicative or explanatory may exist any level and may vertical and as well as horizontal. While in the other hand, the informal communication grow out of the social interactions among people who work together. So, such communication provides information for events come in the form of grapevine. So, kaning grapevine, i-discuss rin ni Miss Erica Losterio. Kining organizational communication, gina-classify ni siya into four. So, ang una natong ila-ilahon is ang downward communication. So, unsa man jud ang downward communication? So, ang downward communication daw is isa kuno sa pinaka-importanteng proseso sa communication system sa organizational. Kay dire mahitabo ang pagsala sa mga information, pagsala o pag-facilitate sa flow sa information o giunsa siya paghatod sa laing tao, may nga na. So, ang downward communication kuno nagadepende og unsa nga klase nga type, pwede print ba na siya or oral media sa pag-disseminate sa information. These handbooks, manuals, magazines, newspapers, bulletin board, notices, posters, and memos are those part of the written media by organization. When it comes to direct orders of top executives, speeches, meetings, public address, telephones, closed-circuit television are examples of oral media used for downward communication. Downward communications has five purposes. So first one we have is to provide instruction to employees regarding their jobs and specific tasks. So second one is to provide information about organizational procedures and practices to new employees. So third one is to explain the rationale of a job to a new employees. So fourth one is to provide subordinates feedback about their job performance. And last but not the least is to give information required by different teams and departments for the achievement of the goals. So the objective of this downward communication is to help the employees to understand better their job, to align goals with the organizational goals. Aside from downward communication, we also have upward communication. Upward communication is a non-directive in nature. So, unlike the downward communication nga directive siya. So, kining upward communication happens to be ang organization gina-empower niya ang mga employees nga mo participate freely in decision making. So bali na ay mga free will ang mga employees. Since we are done talking about the upward communication definition, so let's proceed to the upward communication techniques. So first technique we have is the grievance redressal procedure. So kini siya nga type nga technique is kanang they allow employees to the management nga kanang i-correct ang kanang mga unfair situations nga gina-experience niya through sa workplace. So next technique we have is the open door policy. So bale kini siya nga type nga technique is pareha bitaw nang nasa toolful in action, may nga na pwede ka musumbong sa imong mga problema, mga reklamo nimo, pwede nimo ikuan nimo sa inyohang management. So, third technique we have is the counseling attitude, questionnaires and exit interview. So, bale kini siya nga type nga technique is murag silbing kanang survey bitaw sa mga employees o kanang unsay lahang mga pamatasan sulod sa workplace. So, the fourth one is the participative technique. So, kini siya nga types nga technique is kanang mogsilbi kanang mga employees, they tend to participate in any programs like union management, committees, suggestion boxes, junior boards, and quality circles through informal involvement of employees. So, mao lagi to kanang silbing mo participate ang mga employees in a certain events nga gina-organize sa company baron or magsilbi representative ba may nga na. So, last but not the least technique we have is the ombudsperson. So, this type of technique is kanang murag silbing ginahimo ni nila is for mga ato i-receive ang mga response sa mga inquiries, mga complaints baron, or request for policy clarification, or allegations of injustice by employees. So, magsilbi ka ng ginadili nila ang mga unfair treatment, may nga na bitaw, mga maltreatment sa employees, ginalikayan nila na. Yeah, we're done talking about the upward communication. So, let's proceed here in lateral communication. So, this type of communication it involves across chains of command. So, it also facilitates coordination among departments. So, if active kuno ka sa lateral communication, ginatawag ka nga boundary spanners. Since ang boundary spanning kuno is allows for the excellence of vast amounts of information, such persons wield tremendous power and enjoy greater status by filtering and communicating with others. Last classification of organizational communication we have is the interactive communication. So, this type of communication is beneficial when communication is necessarily between peers involved in tasks that required coordinated efforts. So, employees at each level kuno may communicate freely among themselves, but sa upward ug sa downward kuno is they fail to do so. So, the main aims of interactive communications are task coordination, problem solving, information sharing, and last but not the least is conflict resolution. So, ang ubang information na about aning interactive communication is i-discuss na ni Miss Erica Losterio.